Om Vasudevastam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. We are moving towards conclusion of the Gita. But Gita is never concluded. We'll take over the Gita again. Swadhyaya. 67th verse. In the previous verse, Lord Krishna gave a summarized version of the teachings. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Having renounced all dharmas here related to karmas, actions that are called swadharma, paradharma. In brief, all actions, all karmic involvements, having renounced, come under my protection, take refuge in me alone. Not a difficult thing to understand. Whom do you really count upon? Figure that out. You don't count upon your body. You don't count upon bodily relatives. You don't count upon people, not birds, not your pets, not all your money, not all your popularity. What do you really count upon? That's God, who expresses in you in the form of I am. But your I am is mixed up with a mental illusion. So that all the practice of religion and yoga is meant to free that I am from veils of illusion. Then when that I am shines, I am like the sun. All the glimmer and radiations and illuminations of the sun, they are outstepped. As long as you are in the world of bondage, in a world where you are suffering, led by karma, moving from body to body, you don't like that, moving from day by day, from childhood to youth, from youth to age, coming to 40, no fooling after. So that I am surrendered. Surrender comes now in 3 stages. Deha buddhyatu dasoham. As long as you are gripped with the idea, I am the body, consider your body a kind of tool. Just like you for worshipping deity in a temple, you carry a tool, bringing lots of flowers. Consider your body, mind, speech, kind of a tool. All that you do is kind of worshipping God. When the spirit of worship enters into action, it's called karma yoga. When the spirit of worship enters into your feelings, it's called bhakti yoga. When it enters into your mental process, it's called dhyana yoga, meditation. When it enters into intellect, it's called jnana yoga. You become a yogi. And that, so as I was explaining, Deha Buddhya, according to, if you feel your body is only an instrument. Jiva Buddhya Tadanshaka. But when you begin to come to another level of thinking about yourself, I'm a jiva, soul. Leave one body, you get into another body. I've gone through many bodies and many relations. Understand that jiva is a ray of God. It may wander in a world of time and space in so many situations, but nothing is definite in the world. But one thing is definite, that God cannot leave you. When you see reflection of the sun, as long as you are seeing the reflection, you must know the reflection is related to the sun. No matter where you take your jar. Jiva Buddhya, that's called Jiva Buddhya. Understand your reflected light, reflected self in your mental waters. And when you have that, that understanding, it becomes a source of inspiration. You are a ray of God, and God yours. So related to God, that if God-like power develops in your personality, you are not surprised. Rather, you say to yourself, only this much. Compete with God. It's a mystical literature. As if you are competing with God. In Mahabharata, Arjuna fights with Lord Shiva. In biblical literature, the Israel term itself comes based on a kind of a mystic fight with God. But go into Google. So, Jiva Buddhya Tadanshaka. You are a ray of God. So no matter how situations may make your mind feel distressed, leave a little room open from where the whisper comes. You are a ray of God. And finally, I am that am I. Atmabuddhya tavaiva. When you have deeply settled within yourself, first you settle within yourself with the idea, I am the body. Okay. Stay, an instrument of God. And settle within yourself, I am soul. That's okay. Now radiate divine qualities. Now settle with absolute settlement. I am that am I. That the goal of life is attained. Then you become sthita prajna, jivan mukta, one who has attained nirvana, salvation, whatsoever you call it, you attain the perfection. But all these 3 points, your mind must hold on to according to its capacity. And that's called Mamekam Saranam Braja. It's only one sentence. Surrender unto me alone. That surrender has 3 fingers. Deha Buddhya, with body idea, what you should do. Jiva, I am a soul. I am that. As a result of this surrender, aham tva sarvapapevyo, God is speaking allegorically, I will relieve you, free you of all sins. Sin term means simply all limitations, all sources of worries, anxieties, and sorrow. And therefore, O Arjuna, ma shuchaha, don't live to grieve. In 67th verse, idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na chashu shushave vachyam na chamam yovyasuyati. This teaching of mine should not be imparted by you to anyone who does not practice austerity, who is not my devotee, who lacks the desire for listening the spiritual teachings, and who finds fault with me. This is your identity card. If these, in other words, I'm humorously dramatizing the point. If you take it literally, all satsanga will be vacant. And before all satsanga halls, there will be someone kept to check your identity. And identity is a vocal question, vocal examination. And what are they? Who does not practice austerity. Yes, I do this, but not every day. Well, we're not qualified. Who is not my devotee? Well, who is God's devotee? Who lacks the desire for listening. In other words, human mind has its preferences. Some people like more Yoga Vasishtha, some like more Ramayana, some like Gita. Those who like Gita do not like to get into other. I'm just joking. Because you have preference, led by your ego, what you should listen and what you shouldn't listen. Led by your ego. Then you are not qualified. Put the story short, summarily, it is not to be applied literally. No matter what defect you have, what limitation, you are all welcome to satsanga. But understand, as long as those limitations are there, you cannot fully be benefited. So in order to be benefited, continue to remove those limitations. That's the message behind. If you are a literal devotee of the scripture, then we'll create a terrifying ashram, police every year, with will questionnaire. Only you have this qualification, you can step into it or get out. I'm just giving you an understanding. How religion, not understood well, instead of being a source of boundless love, it becomes a source of boundless terror. Because we are unable to listen. So what are the things that are obstacles to your satsanga? That's what the message behind it. And what are those? There are 4 points. Lacking austerity. In the previous chapter, Lord Krishna explained austerity, which Sanskrit term is tapas, also known as tapasya. Austerity is of 3 types: physical, vocal, mental. Physical austerity, Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam, Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharya Ahimsa. First point, serving those who are spiritually advanced. Because if you are able to contact advanced personalities, here again, you have to understand in a very broad way, even when you are living in your own house, from childhood stage, you see how your mother is more advanced than you. So how could you please her? Matri Devo Bhava. Father is more advanced than you. Try to compete with him. Climb upon his shoulder and see more than he sees. It's a loving competition. I'm giving you a very broad understanding. So that's one aspect of austerity. And coming to more ideal aspect, if you are led by spiritual teacher or aspirants who are more in a higher level and who can follow their example, following the examples of saintly personalities, if that becomes possible for you, it's a very profound opportunity. Otherwise, you go on figuring out what does Gita say. So it's called Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam. Shaucham, purity of body and mind. I'm just pointing out now because all this has been explained before and later again I will be explaining them. Arjavam. Arjavam means straightforwardness. Your thought should be in harmony with your speech, and your speech should be in harmony with your activity, action. But people become led by ego, people become twisted, they become manthara. A personality has a big hump. So the 3 twists develop in the personality. Thinking goes that way. Speech goes that way. Action goes this way. It's a laughable matter. But I must realize this. Everyone has that challenge. And you go on working upon it. When negativity is pointed out, it's not pointed out to condemn a person. So that when a doctor out of sincerity says what is wrong with you, you become grateful to the doctor. And by knowing this, you are being given a profound, joyous future that you will get rid of it. You are going to shine. So in that perspective, you should understand when the scriptures point out to defects in human personality, they are not against you, they are not hating you. They are trying to bring out, they are motherly, profound, with profound compassion, pointing out the errors in life. And if those errors are removed, your life can be so enriched beyond your imagination. So I was talking about austerity of the body, austerity of speech. First, in the body stage itself, I started mixing up mental factor. Nothing wrong with it. Practice of brahmacharya, allowing the body to be more in a disciplined way and not allow your body to kill others, violent activity. All this is called bodily austerity. Focus on vocal austerity. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. Never speak words that get into the heart of others like thorn. Nothing pinches more vehemently than words. You are more experienced, you will know that. Physical injuries can heal, but injuries that you have received by vocal insult, that you go on remembering. So therefore, do not become like those who are uncontrolled in their tongue. Do not submit yourself to that type of situation where you speak things that will hurt others. Sometimes, if you are not spiritually advanced, you have a limited view of righteousness. Though in the name of righteousness, you start saying things. From your point of view, you are doing the right thing. But you are lacking psychological insight into mind. Though you are saying rightly, but how does it enter the mind of another person? If it is entering in the form of insult, the person doesn't see the goodness behind what you are saying. It sees your nose, how it is curling. And hates him. So therefore, an insight into normal psychology, mystic psychology has to develop. And that is an art. So anudvegakaram vakyam, controlling that your speech, disciplining your speech, that becomes tapas, austerity. Satyam priyahitam cha. Another point, your speech should bring out the truth. But truth is not as simple as generally people think. From the point of view of the bully-headed people, truth is nobody's head is in its right position. That's the truth. Without going into all the humor, idea is satyam vada, priyam vada, navada satyam apriyam. Speak the truth, but wait. If what you are going to say is going to be interpreted wrongly by the person, then let your mind work out how to express the truth that the person is able to hear it. Your words should not go into their ears like snakes. So, speak the truth. Satyam vada, priyam vada. It should be pleasant, agreeable to the person who is listening to it. You should come close to it. What are you saying? Be open-hearted. Tell me without hiding anything. Navada satyam apriyam. Never speak that truth that hurts the feeling of others. Then the person will not be benefited. Rather, you have created a negative karma. No matter whatever it may seem like a very great project. And another form of vocal austerity is swadhyaya. Study scriptures and share it with others. Train your tongue to be eloquent. Not when you are angry it becomes eloquent. Eloquence coming out of calmness, joyousness, compassion. That type of eloquence. And then coming to mental austerity. Manah prasada saumyatvam maunam atmavinigraha bhava sanshuddhi ityeta tapo manasa uchyate. All this I'm reciting from the previous chapter. Manah prasada. Mental austerity is allowing the mind to be relaxed. After you listen and all that and get prasad, how do you feel? Relax. So mind should feel a prasad type of relaxation. Saumyatvam. Not only just become calm. Think of a lake that has become calm, no surging waves, etc. The next quality, saumyatvam, shimmer. Simply calm lake is not so interesting. That shimmers. A divine presence radiates through it. That state is called saumyatva. How saumya. People are given names highlighting divine potentiality in a person. Next austerity of the mind, maunam. Mind is constantly blabbering. Train your mind to be involved with japa, meditation, and simple surrender to God. Allow the mind to just relax. No past, no future. Relax. And devotional sentiment helps you feel you are sustained by God. If you have insecurity that his hands are not strong enough, imagine you're sustained by 1,000 arms of the Divine Mother. I'm joking. At the same time, these are different ways of allowing your mind to work upon the divine support, sustenance. And that's called mauna of the mind. Maunam, atmavinigraha, controlling your mind and senses. They should be like in a chariot or like in the old style chariot here. So the horses should not take over your chariot. Your whole body, mind, personality is like a chariot. Your senses and distracted mind should not lead you just according to the whims of the lower self. Be a master of your mind and senses. That again, is any quality I say, it is a progressive movement. Develop that ideal and go on working upon it. Bhava sanshuddhi, feeling within your heart. Good feeling comes, but doesn't stay long. You have developed good feeling towards someone, and that someone has done something wrong for you. Now you begin to regret. Why did you develop all the good feeling for such a long time? What a wastage of time. Therefore, is an austerity. Your ego works that way. But don't let your ego dupe you. Good feeling must go on no matter whatever may be external circumstances. And the secret behind it, if you understand that God is underlying behind all names and forms. Easily said, but you have to gradually digest it. Therefore, no one is meant to be hated by you. Hatred is not the answer. And holding on to different types of feelings that are gross, harsh, hateful, those type of feelings hurt your own heart. It's just like you became jealous of someone who is happy, prosperous. I'm giving a very crude illustration. So, you develop the idea how to spoil his happiness. But he has done it without any good karma. He needs some punishment. What's the best method? Go to a zoo or somewhere, buy some spiders, scorpions, bring them and store them in your garage. Garage is your heart. Even before you revenge on the person, you have revenge on yourself. You have spoiled your peace within your heart. Figure that out. Bhava sanshuddhi, therefore, allowing the feeling of your heart to be shining, pure, joyous, like the waxing moon. The moon comes and begins to shine brighter and brighter. The whole sky seems so joyous. Bhava Shuddhi is described with that allegorical description, as if the waxing moon has started becoming more and more, bigger and bigger. That's the joy of life. So spiritual disciplines and austerity, etc., they are these subtle mantras for making your life blissful. So the teaching that Lord Krishna is saying that those who lack austerity, do not give them these teachings. Literal meaning, I've already explained to you. Na bhaktaya, na abhaktaya. Do not teach this wisdom to those who lack devotion. It simply means devotion is a powerful quality that you must develop in order to follow the teachings of the scriptures. And those who lack the quality of listening. Who lacks the quality of listening? One who holds waxes in the ears. I'm here again joking, though it is a practical reality. But what I'm really meaning by, when you hold a certain concept in your mind and you don't become open-hearted, so even before you are going to listen, you have already made up your mind that this is the meaning behind it. That means you are not opening your mind to enjoy the teachings. Rather, you have kept your mind shut. That doesn't allow you to be in the state of taking gain, being benefited by satsanga. If you have already made up your mind. And lastly, he says, Nachamam yobhya suyati. Those who find fault with me. This negative quality is called asuya. Asuya means you go on speaking against someone behind his back or even in front, whichever way. Finding faults and highlighting them, that's called asuya. When you finger point one fault, 3 fingers point to you. See, God tricked your hand in such a way. You go on seeing the finger that's extending out, but don't see the 3 fingers that are pointing to you. If you go on discovering defects in others, negative qualities, each time you discover, your mind feels like a fox, joyous. That foxy happiness is not a spiritual happiness. The mind should become completely relaxed. An attitude towards the world should be an attitude of compassion. If you find anyone lacking certain quality, developing negative qualities, it's a matter of compassion. Because those who suffer, those who have negative qualities, they are not healthy. Just like you are going to the hospital, and suppose you are so uncultured that looking at every patient and their deranged state, you go on condemning them. This whole world is a big hospital, beginning with your very home. The spirit of compassion must be always there in all relations. how loving treatment should inspire others, not harsh military treatment. So whoever has that type of negativity, and is in a very gross way, asuya, directed towards God himself. If God was, in the beginning of creation, was good, healthy, but when he started doing it, his hair became grey. I'm joking. Who knows, he might have expired. Seeing what has happened to his creation. All this type of thinking is easy for people who are nihilistic and think of the very idea that there is God. They feel it's so ridiculous. These people have not learned science. They are so dull with it. They explain everything God, God, God. These are big obstacles to your being benefited by satsanga. If these negative qualities continue to persist, satsanga, that is opening the door to immense festivity of joyous experience. But as I have said, when it is all told and you find those defects within yourself, the message is not to become upset about it, not to feel in a state of despair, but a state of joy that things that you thought were wonderful, they are allergic. You start improving upon your house in a profound way. Ya imam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vaishyatya sanshaya. And now, in the 68th verse, he who enables my devotees to understand the teachings of this profound scripture, he, the best of my devotees, will doubtlessly attain me. See, first Lord Krishna spoke of those negative qualities that obstruct the effectiveness of satsanga. Now he is giving the advantage of satsanga. To love God, very dynamic aspect of loving God, is called jnana yajna. Of all yajnas are sublimating the negative qualities within yourself, sacrificing anger, it becomes love. It's called yajna. Yajna means sacrifice. Jnana yajna, you are sacrificing illusions, ignorance, many levels of ignorance, allowing knowledge to develop. But what's more important, in order to gain spiritual knowledge, you should be able to share that knowledge with others. In general society, good society, this is always a simple habit. If you have been suffering from a certain disease and some medicine cured you, you are very happy to share it with others. I'm talking about good people. You don't calculate. It took me years to find that medicine. So let those people suffer a little more. come back to the normal human heart, no matter how much you may have suffered. But good-heartedness immediately shares it with people whom you see that similar characteristics, symptoms are developing in someone, and you immediately give your what you have discovered. Follow the same. What you have discovered for dealing with mind in stress, for dealing with certain grief, for handling distractions, anger and hate. What have you discovered? Sharing it. Everyone has to become a center of satsanga, no matter how small circle. And you must realize satsanga movement is like a wafting fragrance. You may think you are giving satsanga only to a few people, but it begins to spread. Qualitative sharing has a tremendous effect on yourself first, then people around you, and for everyone there are people around. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is your family. And if you are doing that, you are real devotee of God. But if you are keeping all your movement strictly private, let people go to hell, I am going to attain liberation. I have learned all the mystic 3S, suppress, substitute, sublimate. www. Wait, watch, what the... Why should I share it? If you have that attitude, you are completely against spirituality. You are worse than an atheist. And with this I'm going to conclude. I thought I would complete the whole Gita. Om Triambakam Yamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhana Urvarukuma Bandhana Mrityor Mukshiyama Amritat Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha.